Welcome to Childcare Rockstar Radio. I am your host, Kris Murray. Childcare leaders around the globe are breaking through challenges, leading the way in innovation, testing new best practices, and impacting children and families in a much more powerful and positive way than ever before. Each week, join me for interviews with early childhood leaders and experts that will leave you inspired to become the next childcare rockstar. Now, let's go. This is Childcare Rockstar Radio, episode 147, featuring Shonali Harrison. Oh, I've got a good one for you today. Shonali is one of my favorite humans, and she is an incredible Montessori leader, a school owner, and just a beautiful, beautiful soul. And I can't wait for you to meet Shonali. She is the owner of Eden Prairie Montessori in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, outside of Minneapolis. And she has been a member of mine for 5 or 6 years, I think. And I have hung out quite a bit with her and her husband, Bill, at our mastermind retreats over the years. And she's just so lovely, so much fun to be around. And unbeknownst to me, one of her superpowers is being an incredible party planner and hostess. So I can't wait for you to meet her as we talk all about her journey in Montessori. She's from Sri Lanka originally, and she's just a very, very cool educator and leader. Before we dig into Shonali, I wanted to thank our sponsor of today's podcast, which is Childcare Seer. Tired of inconsistent support with your management software, paying too much, not able to plan schedules, menus, and lesson plans into the future with your current tool? If so, Childcare Seer is the answer. Visit childcareseer.com. That's childcare, SEER.com, to view our demo on your own time or start for free with Childcare Seer and see this fantastic software product for yourself. Lots of new features since you saw Seer at the summit back in Nashville. We want to offer you the opportunity to upgrade for as little as $30 a month, but hurry because prices are going up soon. So stop running your center thinking about today and let Seer change your tomorrow. It's childcareseer.com. So this episode is releasing at the end of March 2023. And if you're listening to it live, I am actually on the beach in Cancun right now with my Empire members. We are doing a special VIP Empire retreat. We do these once a year just for our Empire members and their guests. And usually they bring a spouse or a business partner, and sometimes they just come solo and just enjoy the experience of masterminding. It's a true mastermind session over 2 days. And then we have a bunch of fun activities and social events and receptions in a beautiful luxury resort in Cancun. So right now I am actually hanging out, facilitating a meeting and or hanging out at my casita. So I am excited to welcome you into the podcast and for you to meet Shonali on this episode. Shonali is a Maria Montessori devotee, and she has studied under the folks that studied under Maria. So she's kind of like once removed from actually working directly with Maria Montessori. She has an incredible program, and the biggest theme of this episode is talking about her leadership style. When I asked her that question, she talks about showing up every day and modeling the behaviors in leadership that she holds true in her heart and having an open heart to mentor her teachers and her administrators in a very special way. And you're going to feel that come across to you, whether you're listening or watching this on YouTube. You're going to feel Shonali's amazing, beautiful energy and her open heart as a leader showing up in her schools every day. So we talk about that. We talk about the people that have had the biggest impact on her life and what makes her the proudest when she looks back on her journey, and what's been the most challenging parts of her journey and what's next for her as we flow into the remainder of this incredible year, 2023 together. So without any further ado, I'm going to jump right in and let you meet Miss Shonali Harrison here on the podcast. It's Childcare Rockstar Radio. Let's go. Welcome back to the show. I am so grateful that you are here joining me once again at Childcare Rockstar Radio. And my guest today, I cannot wait for you to meet her. She's been with me for several years in coaching, and she's an incredible Montessori leader, Miss Shonali Harrison. Shonali, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me here, Kris. I'm so honored and so delighted to be here with you.
I am feeling the same way. I'm so grateful that you took the time today to be with us. Where are you right now, Shonali?
I'm at home in Chaska, Minnesota.
Okay. Outside of Minneapolis, right?
Outside of Minneapolis. It's a suburb of Minneapolis, very close to everything. It's close to the Mall of America. I mean, not, in proximity, it's a great place to be. It started off as a small town, and now it's grown to be bigger. And it's close to it's a suburb of Minneapolis. So the Twin Cities is Minneapolis and St. Paul. So this is a suburb of Minneapolis.
Awesome. Tell us more about your early learning business, please. I'd love to know the name of your company and more about your school.
So my company is called Eden Prairie Montessori Schools. Eden Prairie is the city the schools are in. I have two schools. Both of the schools are in the same city. The one school that I started at is, we call it a North School. It's the whole name of it is Eden Prairie Montessori Learning Center.
Okay.
And as we were growing, we didn't have any more room to house all of our students. So we, in 2017, we were able to find another place and set that up as our own Montessori school. It used to be a different kind of childcare center. It was a kinder care, and that's our second location.
Okay. So you transformed a kinder care building into a Montessori school.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's cool. That's really cool. How did you get into this amazing world of early education? And specifically, what inspired you about Montessori?
So I grew up in Sri Lanka, and we have the European system of education. So I did what is called O levels, which is the ordinary levels, and then the advanced levels. So while I was waiting for my results from the exams for the advanced level, I was reading up on Montessori, and there was this ad about if you want to, follow her training and the certification that you could apply. And I was one of the 20 that applied and got in. It's a 2-year training, 2-year certification, and then 2 years of observations and internships. So I completed that, and I just loved what I was doing. Actually, that wasn't my when I was in school, I never thought I'd be a teacher. I always thought I would go into maybe accounting or something like that, more with numbers. And I ended up loving what I read about the Montessori philosophy. So that's how I got into it.
I feel like there's a strong Montessori following in that part of the world. Lots of women that come into my world from India, Sri Lanka, and other countries in that whole region. It seems to be very Montessori. It seems to be very popular.
Yes, and I'll tell you the reason is Dr. Maria Montessori. She was Italian, and when she founded her program, she started her training centers in India, and then she was in Sri Lanka. I'm talking about in the 40s.
Yeah.
So that's why some of my professors were some of Dr. Maria Montessori's pupils. So,
Wow.
they studied under her. So
that is so cool. I love it. I love Montessori. I'm a huge fan. And I love
Yes.
Reggio inspired too. So I still have a goal and a dream to go to Reggio Emilia, Italy.
Mhm.
And also I love every time I walk into a Montessori school, I just love the energy
Yeah.
of it. Cause I
It is.
feel like with it being child directed, it feels calmer, it feels less chaotic, and it feels more focused in its energy. A lot of times it feels like children
Yes.
are so engaged and immersed in their learning. So that's, I think, what
Yes.
makes that vibe feel like that.
That's
Do you
right.
agree? Yeah.
Yeah, we've been told that so much. I mean, yeah, I go into a lot of Montessori programs as well because we are in that network. But that is so true for Montessori environments. It's very calm,
Hmm.
and it's just the method of teaching, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. So what is a fun fact about you that hardly anyone knows that you could share
Mm.
about Shonali?
Well, I think a lot of people don't know that I can throw a party in a couple of hours.
Really?
Yes, I'm a great event planner. I love to cook, like do gourmet foods and
Hmm.
decorating, and that's something that a lot of people don't know about me. But I truly can do that.
You love to
I love that.
entertain and you can turn
I
it, you
love
can whip out a party in like record time.
absolutely.
I
I
love
love it.
that. I might need to hire you for some of our event planning, it sounds like.
Yeah, I could do that.
I
And
love that.
also,
Yeah.
another thing is that I know a lot of people know that I love to dance, but I can hula hoop for a long period of time.
Really? That's
A
fantastic.
little
So,
talent.
yeah, if we ever have some kind of a beach or some kind of a hula hoop theme at our quarterly events, we'll have
Oh
to
yeah,
get you on the stage and give us a demonstration. That's fun.
absolutely.
I love that. Tell us about life at home. What is life like? I know that you're married to a wonderful guy. Tell us more.
Yes, so we've been married for 31 years. Um, he's wonderful. Bill helps me with, he has his own work, but he helps me with everything at the school if I like to, have, he loves to do furniture, like make furniture. So I
Cool.
have him build like custom built, furniture for the classrooms and stuff like that. So he helps me a lot in that kind of stuff. Or if I want a wall moved or, have a rock wall or things like that, he can, do the plans and work on it. So
Hmm.
he's a great partner for me for my business. And my kids, they are grown and they're in different places. My daughter, Sri Lanka, she lives on the Sunshine Coast in Australia.
Okay.
And
Cool.
she has a very cool job. But apart from that, she also has her own little business where she's a meditation teacher.
Oh, wow.
So she has awesome meditation retreats and classes. And we meet up often, as you know, Kris. We travel quite a bit because I have family outside of here in LA and in all around the world.
Uh-huh.
So we get together quite often. And then we have our son who is he's still finishing up some of his classes because he jumped from one to another. So he's in Santa Barbara, California. So
Okay.
um, yeah, I'm living my best life, I think. 30 years in the industry, and I've found ways, thanks to you and your team and the academy, I've learned how to let go a little bit and have some fun,
Yeah.
take time off.
That's fantastic. And did you mention when we were talking about your foundations of getting into ECE, did you talk about when did you found your first center? When did you actually become an owner?
Okay, I became an owner in 91.
Okay. Wow.
So
Wow.
that's a long time. So anyway, my journey was as soon as I finished my certification, I came, right after my internship, I was recruited by my employer. Her name was Mary Everson. She's passed on now, but she had many Montessori schools. They were international Montessori schools, and they were called La Pepinia Montessori schools. And all of our teachers were from different countries, Sri Lanka, France, England, several places. Lovely company to work for. I just came here for 1 year, and she loved my work. It was actually very interesting to me because I came from a tropical island to Minnesota that has lots of snow and it's cold, but I loved the different seasons. It's
Right.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned so much from other staff and mentors that took me under their wing. And anyway, I ended up working for her for 8 years. She had about 14 schools in the
Wow.
Twin Cities.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sent me as a director to this one school in Eden Prairie, the one I'm at, as a director because it was doing poorly. And shortly after, maybe about 1.5 months later, I offered to buy it. And with the help of my parents, I was able to purchase that business. And that's how I came to be there. So
Right.
that was in 91.
I love
And
that. And that's almost the time that you married Bill, because doing the
that's
math,
right.
that's 31 years. So it's the
That's
same.
right. Yeah, shortly. So yeah, and we were engaged and we got married in 92.
Uh-huh. Love that.
So, yeah.
What a great time. What are the capacities of your school? What are the sizes of your two locations?
Yeah, so the main location, the North Center, which are the older one, we can have up to 110, but I keep it at 80.
Okay.
License capacity is 110, but I think I could have more, but at the moment, I license it for 80 students.
Okay.
And they are all full-time students.
Oh, okay.
And all of my staff attend Monday through Friday. And so for both schools, it's the same.
Okay.
And I have found a way to work with what we have and who we have, and it works beautifully. So at the moment,
Sure.
I'm comfortable with that capacity.
Yeah. And then what about the second location?
So, and the second location, we can have up to 80 students. I keep it at 60.
Okay.
And license for 60 again, right. I don't, yes, it's manageable.
Uh-huh.
It's, comfortable. It makes money. So I'm just keeping it at that.
Right. Gotcha. Very, very good. I love that. And let's talk a little bit about the school's differentiation. So obviously you're a Montessori program. You may or may not have other Montessori competitors around you in Eden Prairie and Chaska, but what do you market as your program's unique strengths? What are the things that really stand above and beyond?
So our program itself, by itself, the children working hands-on with a hands-on material, no screens, nothing. So we call it going from concrete to abstract form. And this is true for all Montessori schools. So everything, even if they work on learning quantities, they learn what the quantity is and then the number. So it's going from concrete to abstract form. That is one of the biggest things that we do in our programs. And also the teachers, actually, the training of the staff is huge, and their longevity. They've been with us for so long, they even retire with us. So that's one of the unique points we have for our schools. And also, I feel like the teachers are so dedicated and truly have their heart in it. So I feel like that is a word of mouth, the people who have been with us a long time, they come back and visit, they tell their friends about it. So it is very unique. It's a unique program. And again, like I said, the teachers a huge selling point.
Yeah, I love that. Do they also all have degrees or working on their degrees?
Most of them have their degrees, all
Mhm.
the lead teachers and the assistant teachers, and there are experienced aides that are working on it.
Gotcha.
And we support them in that.
Yeah.
I like to be able to help all of them, if this is what they want to do. And we have aides that come in and out, maybe they are working through school and sometimes, they want a career change. That's okay. But if they want to stay in this career, then we definitely support them and
Mhm.
find ways to send them through school. I love that. I love for my staff and people who have been with me or coming in to our programs to be able to learn from me as a mentor. I feel like this is something that I can pass on to them,
Mhm.
and I want to teach them what I know.
Yeah. So you had a very strong mentor, several mentors, right, that helped
Yes.
you. And so now you are passing that forward and also being a mentor for your teacher. So I think that's an
Absolutely.
amazing story. And I think that, we teach in the academy to take that teacher longevity and or the number of years of teacher tenure in the building or teacher experience in the building and market that specifically. You could be like, we've got 350 years of Montessori expertise under
Yes.
in our company or whatever. So for people listening that haven't actually taken some of our training, how to take what you're saying and then turn it into these numbers or specific benefits that people, because parents will remember that when they leave, when they're walking out from a tour. Very, very much.
Absolutely.
Also, the mentorship component in hiring will help you for the audience listening because today's young teachers and young people in the workforce want coaching and mentorship.
Yes.
That's like a thing. That's like one of their hot buttons. So
that's right.
When you're offering mentorship, Shonali, that's a big hiring
It is.
benefit.
It is because, a lot of times they'll come in and not know what to expect. It is up to us to teach them, show them what we do. So it is different than a daycare center. We are different because there are certain things that they have to learn that are not traditional.
Right. Cool. Do you, in terms of having to be Montessori certified with your teaching team, does that sometimes cause issues with hiring? Because it sounds like you have really good retention, so you probably don't have a lot of people to hire. But do you struggle with getting people to be Montessori certified, or you just do that as part of their professional development? Like, how do you handle that?
No, I'm not trained to teach the Montessori certification, obviously, because that is an authentic training or certification. So the lead staff have to come with a Montessori certification. It has to be there's several different Montessori programs out there. But we require them to actually attend the training. There are some schools that may take the online courses as that they will accept. But so yes, it is difficult to find the Montessori lead staff. But if we don't find them, there is a training center here in Minnesota that we can send them through. It's expensive, and we have contracts that if we, send them to school, that they will serve us for, a period of time, which is, I think, fair.
Yeah.
And that has been very successful. So that's why we feel like, if we send them to official training, official certification, then, that's a way to keep our staff. And that helps with the families having a good rapport with the families, and even for the lead teachers who have been there long, they help the younger ones who are coming in, or the assistants that want to do the training, to be mentors to them. So it kind of trickles down the line.
Cool. So how would you describe your leadership style? What words come to mind? What qualities and values do you embody as a leader?
I would say I'm present. I show up. And I know my leadership skills are, I love to be hands-on. I don't mean my like micromanaging, but I like to be seen. I like to be heard. I like to listen. I'm a good listener. I have been there. I've been a teacher in a classroom. And honestly, I just love to show people what I think that they could do to help them in certain situations. I know that I have a lot of different interests, but and I'm pretty good at a lot of them, but I can definitely say I'm an awesome teacher. I know that about me because I've been told that, and I know I have the passion for that.
Yeah.
So I show that in leadership as well. And I have learned a lot from you, Kris. You are so authentic, and you have your heart in it. And that's why I feel like a huge connection to you and your team. I know a lot of people try to copy you, but they cannot touch you.
Oh, that is so sweet to say. I love hearing that, especially from you, Shonali. That's great. And that's everything to me. So thank you so much. I want to ask you about something that's not on our question outline, which is coming out of COVID. I want to ask you, as being such a heart-centered leader, and I'm sure that your heart was devastated by what was happening during COVID. And so reflecting back on what we went through, because you were with me in the academy during that whole time, how do you think it changed you as a leader, or just as a business owner, educator, coming out of that and surviving that and getting your business through it? Did it change you? Reflecting back, what do you think?
You know what? It did change me a little bit, quite a bit, I should say. At first, when this happened, I still remember I'm in a book club, and we were at happy hour at book club, and I heard things were closing up. I still remember that day. I think like everybody does.
Yeah.
And I thought, what is going to happen? And the first thing, is children were pulling out. But you know what saved me? I'm not just saying this for lip service. Honestly, I had to see, what would Kris do?
Yeah.
Honestly, you guys helped us get through.
Yeah.
All those cards you sent saying we are in it together.
Yeah.
Those little things mattered. And I said that to my staff. Everything's going to be okay. That's what a true leader should be. And that's why the leadership skills kind of came out of me. Like, we can do this. Let's see what we can do. We brainstormed and did all of this. And all the staff worked together to say, you know what? I'll work this half, you work this half. They came up with all these different, we never closed. We stayed open. And we got through it. Honest to goodness, the academy, your team, the academy, other members, then how, we were talking to each other. We had little private groups going. That's how I got through. And it changed me to know that, however much we want to be alone and do this alone, you're like a frog in the well. You don't know what you can do when you have all these voices and people telling you, here's how we can do it. Here's how I did it. It was successful. You got to be in those kind of groups because it lifts you up. And that's what I realized.
Yeah. And I thank you for saying that and reflecting on that with me. And it's funny because when you talked about the frog in the well, there's an actual truth about crabs. Crabs in a bucket will actually pull down. If a crab is starting to escape and climb out of the bucket, the other crabs will pull them back down into the bucket. And so in COVID, if you found yourself working with people who are very negative and fearful, you would be like a group of crabs in a bucket and pulling each other back down into the depths of despair, right? But we were trying to do the opposite and help everybody feel supported, and just even if we just cried together, which we did.
Yes, we did.
Because that April quarterly meeting, we did a Zoom remote meeting for everybody.
Yeah.
Normally we'd get together in person. And and we played a video with pictures of everyone to a Sia song, Unstoppable by Sia.
Unstoppable. Yep.
And we all were like, just, the energy is like coming into my body right now. I can feel it. But it was, so powerful.
Do you know the story about sunflowers?
Mm-mm.
When they go towards the sun, but when it's gray and dark, they turn to each other because they give energy to each other. That's what I feel about you.
Wow.
It's true.
I love that. I love sunflowers too. I'll have to incorporate those more into my branding. I love that. Let's talk about the people that have impacted you. I mean, obviously we shared about some of your Montessori heroes. What people have had, one or two people have had the biggest impact on your life?
My dad, he was, I lost him in April, as you know, but he is my hero. He was such a sensible man. Up until the day he died, he would always say, take care of yourself and take care of others. And it's true. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. So I do a lot of self-care. I take, and I encourage everybody to do that. And he was always about, helping others, pay it forward. If you went to his place, if you visited him, he would always make sure you're happy. He would always talk to you. He will make it a point, however many people there are in a room, he would always seek you out and talk to you and make sure. And that's what I've learned, that everyone matters.
Mm-hmm. People, what's the saying? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's right. It's so true.
Yeah. When you look back on this incredible 31 years plus professional journey, what makes you the proudest?
I have to say, it's my teaching. What I've taught the children who come and visit me and say thank you, and what they've learned. Honestly, every day I get invitations to graduations, to weddings, and they always remember their first, because we lay a foundation. I know you asked a question just recently about, what did you get into this? Why did you get into this profession? Mm-hmm. And that comes to mind. We lay the foundation for these children because this is the first 6 years of their lives. And honestly, it has impacted children, and I'm so proud of that. I also have to say, I have taught a lot of celebrity children from the Vikings, the NFL players. Some of them are playing for the NFL right now. Cool. And when I see them on these teams, I'm like, oh my gosh, I taught this kid. I taught one of Tony Dungy's children, Chris Carter's children. I have a lot, because the Vikings camp was in Eden Prairie. I had a lot of coaches and a lot of NFL players. So I'm very proud of that, because they will actually tell you what a good teacher I was. And I'm very proud of that.
Yes, absolutely. You definitely have had an impact on dozens, if not hundreds of children, thousands of children. So I love that. And being a football fan, I'm going to root for the Vikings even harder now that I know that. That's fantastic.
Yes. And then I have to say, Kris, that I'm very proud of my two children. They are beautiful human beings, and they have their heart, for humanity, and very, very good citizens. That's what I always wish for. I've always said, be good citizens. And I'm very proud of them.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Let's talk a little bit about challenges that you've overcome. What has been the most challenging part of your journey?
I think the most challenging is training staff. Not just finding staff. Yeah, I can find staff, but training them, it takes time, it takes dedication, and being engaged, in your training, just being present. And it's, I think as a coach, you probably know that too, this time management is pretty challenging. So that's what I'm always finding. And thanks to Tamina, who is my coach, she does the time blocking, and I've learned to do that. And that has helped a lot. And all the systems I have incorporated in our school, I learned a lot from the academy to put these things in place, and that has helped a lot. But that would be my number one challenge, just taking time to train people.
So let's dive into that a little bit. So with the training systems that you put into place, have you put in any either technology tools or other types of things that have helped you systematize this challenge?
Yes. So we use one place for our checklist.
Okay.
We use Brightwheel for communication and billing. That is awesome.
Okay.
We use IntelliKids for our CRM system.
Yep.
So we've incorporated a whole lot of different systems, and it works beautifully.
So in terms of the training, your teachers and your assistants get Montessori certified. And then do you have like an additional in-house training set of videos, or just methods that you use, like a little schedule of how you train them over their first 6 months, or how do you set that up?
So first, when we meet up, so in the state, in Minnesota, they can't go into a classroom until the background check is done and all of the manuals are read. But that's not enough, obviously. So we do the first week or two until the fingerprints are done and all of that. We do it while we sit down and talk about our program, about the policies, the procedures, the licensing rules, all of the basics. And then comes, once they are trained in, there are some videos that we use as well, like for SUIDS and HT, which is the acute head trauma, things like that, like how to feed babies, how to change them, things like that. Those are the basic things that we do. Right. But then comes the Montessori part of it, where, for instance, when we are maybe two children are fighting, we don't shout across the room. That's one of our policies. You go up to the children, get down to their level, and talk to them about, what's happening. Right. Or if you we don't say, oh, good job for things done, and offer to help them if they need help. We teach them to come to us. First, they try to, because one of the Montessori philosophies is to be independent learners. So the children are very independent. So if we don't hinder their growth that way, we wait till they come to us for help. So those are things that you have to learn on the job. Yes. So that takes about, 6 months, I would say, because our tendencies as adults is like, do you want help? Do you want help with that coat? Do you want help with the shoes? Instead of sit back and let them do it. And then if they ask for your help, then you show them how to do it. So little things like that takes a long time. Yeah. So that's kind of our process.
I find that in most cases, new employees are coming into a new role, even like a high level employee, like a new COO, takes a good 6 months. The more complex the job, the longer it takes. So it could even take a year for a very high level of complexity job to really get the new employee in fully trained, fully onboarded, get it really flowing, it takes a while. And I think having that patience and just recognizing that, because I do think sometimes we as leaders are too quick to judge.
Yes.
And we need to give our people time to really fully blossom.
That's true. And then working in harmony, not everybody comes with the same skill set or the same attitude. Somehow we have to find a way to jive together, to get along. And that's a huge skill.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are personalities that say, well, she's not fast enough. Didn't get the diaper changed right away. Well, take time to show them. Maybe they need, just like the children. Yeah. We do the same thing for the children. Not all the children are alike. So we have to kind of remind our lead teachers or assistant teachers to be patient, work together, and that takes time.
Yeah. So where are you headed? It sounds like you're traveling more. You're getting together internationally with your family and your children and doing fun trips with Bill. So what's on the horizon for Shonali?
Oh my gosh. Travel, take more time off, delegate more. And thanks to you, I've learned that.
Good.
Because I love to. I have a great circle of friends. Yeah. Like I told you, I'm in gardening clubs, book clubs, all of that stuff. That takes time. Yeah. But I love doing all of that. So taking time. And then I have an awesome team and they can manage without me. I don't have to, dictate everything. So I'm taking more time and traveling more. And Bill is doing an outdoor kitchen. That was kind of one of his dreams. And he's an awesome cook as well.
Nice.
So hoping to do all of that in the next couple of years.
Awesome. Well, this has been a joy having you on the podcast. We are coming to an end of our time together today. What are any final thoughts you'd like to share? And then how can people find out more about your program? I don't know if you want to give your website.
Yeah, of course. It's Eden Prairie Montessori.com is our website.
Okay.
And you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram.
Cool.
And my final thoughts, I would say, I think we need to be who we are and be your authentic self. At the same time, staying true to yourself, but also recognize the strengths of other people.
Love it. Well, you have been true to yourself ever since I've known you. You have been this amazing soul that has great energy and have always contributed so much to the meetings and to me personally, and with gifts and cards over the years and little books of inspiration and things that you've sent me that I treasure. So I want to just thank you so much for being an amazing human and leader and teacher and member of ours and friend of mine. And
thank you, Kris.
Yeah, thanks for being on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Take
care.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Shonali. It's been great, everybody. And take care and God bless. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I hope you liked this episode of Childcare Rockstar Radio. If you did, please share it with someone you know and help spread the word to your friends in our industry and on social media. Childcare business success is my passion, and I am honored to be on this journey with you. As a thank you for listening, learn more about how to grow your business and make more income with our brand new free quiz, the What's My Number One Income Killer quiz, exclusively for preschool and childcare owners. Take the quiz today at childcarequiz.com to discover what your number one income killer is and how to solve it. Take care and God bless.